Okay, this is going to be a weather update. It's August the 27th, about 10 a.m. In the morning. Today we're going to do an update rather than for DC weather. We're going to talk a little bit about the tropical storm Erika and where it might be headed. Um, and what we're going to really talk about is how all the models that are run all have a sort of a different solution of exactly what's going to happen to Erica and where it's headed. What you see up on the screen right now is a animation loop of Erika coming from the latest run of the global forecasting system, often referred to as the American model. And what this goes out to 10 days. So what you can see coming up in this direction, and we'll see it right here. This is Erika coming in towards Florida, a near miss going over the Bahamas, coming up to off the Georgia, South Carolina coast, and then almost being stationary, and then going toward out more to the southeast, and actually intensifying. And we're talking probably this model is suggesting probably at least a Category 2 hurricane off the coast of Georgia. And the interesting thing on this model run is if you notice how the hurricane turns southeasterly. This is called retrograding, and normally when a hurricane forms in this area, what happens, either it hits the coast and goes up this way, or it turns out to sea and goes up this way towards the northeast. This model is suggesting that this hurricane is going to go southeast. And when you see this characteristic, this is only one model run. Things may very well change in the subsequent model runs, but it's very interesting. This suggests what's called a looper. What you'll have is a hurricane that will come up and then loop around this way and then come up this way. So from this one model run, I don't necessarily think that Florida is out of the woods yet. Definitely all interests from Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina should all be keeping track of Erika and making any preparations, just in case, if you're along the coastline here, any preparations you need to do in the event that Erika takes a turn inland along your area of the coast. Might not happen, might just go out to sea, but it gives you a little extra time to make preparations, and it's probably worth doing. Okay, this is one of multiple model runs that are run by different countries, and even the United States has multiple models. I want to show you some of the other projections. Okay, this is the European model. And if you look at this, actually is for the whole period. And let's wait until this starts again, then we can see it. Okay, this is Erika right here. And if you notice, Erika sort of falls apart as it passes over Puerto Rico, and then ends up in Florida just as some rainy weather over in this area. It does show that after it hits Florida, there's a possibility of intensifying off the coast of Georgia and South Carolina. And let's see if we can stop this. As you can see, if it just falls apart here, just north of Puerto Rico, then sits here for a little bit, and then right there at let me see, the 4th of September. We see that this storm could very well do a little bit of an intensifying. Let me see if I can just step this back. Yeah, there it is. So we're talking about September 3rd or the 4th. It could be off the coast of Georgia, South Carolina, and then re-intensify. Again, you know, it shows that after that little burst of intensifying, it sort of just stays there, doesn't get too much worse, and also retrogrades to the south. So we got basically two models that show Erika sitting off the coast here, getting up more juice, and then heading southeast. So again, that's something to watch. All right, let's take a look at this. This is the Canadian model. And this is kind of interesting. If you look here, let's wait until the frame starts again. Okay, here's Erika coming up here, not losing steam, and brushing up here, probably just north of West Palm Beach, as a hurricane, and then ends up coming inland in the South Carolina coast. And let me see if I can stop. Okay, there. Right here, it'll be off the South Carolina coast. Then as we come up here, it brushes the North Carolina, South Carolina coast as a very strong hurricane, and then goes inland, makes landfall, probably the southeastern part of North Carolina, and then falls apart by the time it gets to Virginia. Okay, that's the Canadian model. Okay, this is the Navy NavGem model. The Navy has their own model. And again, you can see Erika basically falling apart even before you see her on this here. Basically a tropical wave hits Florida and then re-intensifies in the Gulf. So again, this model suggesting that even the Gulf Coast may have an effect sometime in the probably, let me see, this goes out to about September 1st or 2nd. And then finally, we have, this is the GFDL. This is the model designed specifically for hurricanes. Again, it's a U.S. model, Weather Service model. And this actually shows, again, intensification off the coast of Georgia, South Carolina, totally missing Florida, and then it doesn't go past this period of the third, but it does show that it has the potential of intensifying off the coast here. Alrighty, so I think I'm going to leave it there. Again, we're looking more than about 6 days out. There's a lot of discrepancy in the potential path of Erika, but definitely the people along Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina should keep attuned to what's going on and make any preparations in advance, just in case Erika comes in your area of the coastline. Okay, if you have any questions, give me a tweet at PatPend, that's PATPEND. Thanks.